This is bad for science, it's bad for farming, it's bad for New Zealand.
He's talking about Invermay.
They're planning to destroy a perfectly good working science hub here. They're planning to set up a new one at Lincoln. The idea is seriously dumb.
Invermay is part of Ag Research. Ag Research spends over $100 million of taxpayer money each year. It belongs to all of us. Invermay has a world-class genetics research team. Ag Research is planning to restructure. As part of those plans, they want to pull Invermay to bits.
The genetics cluster in Dunedin has Invermay at its heart. It's also got the University of Otago and plenty of private enterprise. This plan destroys all of that.
Ram breeders throughout the country really appreciate the input from the Invermay sheep genetics group. Sheep productivity has about doubled in the last 3 decades, an outstanding performance. Also, disease levels in the deer industry, TB and Yonis, through work in the deer group, has diminished markedly over that period. These groups are essential to be maintained and working because there's much more progress to be made with both species.
So Invermay is successful in part because it's clustered or co-located with other players. And it's successful in part because it's so closely linked with its key clients in the primary sector. Does this fit with the government's view of New Zealand's future?
We actually have to do better if we're to get out there and get ahead, and that means doing things smarter. It means working more closely together, collaborating better. It means, frankly, leveraging every opportunity we have.
Well, that sounds like present-day Invermay.
It's being much quicker in linking that science to on-farm profitability in the case of the primary sector.
And that sounds like present-day Invermay. So what is the case for Ag Research doing what it's doing? We've been leaked an internal video in which the chief executive spells it all out.
Co-location offers many potential benefits. Obviously, ease of internal collaboration, ease of coming together with the next users or the end users of our work.
No, Invermay has the co-location stuff all sorted.
In very practical terms, Future Footprint is designed to create modern facilities for all of our staff to work in.
The Ag Research facilities at Invermay are the most modern. Why would you duplicate them somewhere else? Millions of dollars of taxpayers' money is being wasted.
This is the newest building which Ag Research has. It cost $17 million only a few years ago. The Ag Research experts in head office want to build it all again at Lincoln and reduce Invermay to 35 people only when there's accommodation for about 200.
Well, okay, maybe our arguments are just parochial and self-interested.
Of course I'm concerned about job losses in Dunedin. I'm the mayor. But that's not the point. Destroying the Dunedin genetics cluster is bad for all of New Zealand.
As you might expect, Ag Research went through a big consultation process with their own staff. There were a lot of submissions.
Those 245 submissions were provided to our change management team. The change management team was a group of 12 of our colleagues whose role was to read and review all of those submissions, to summarize those submissions, and to provide strong recommendations to the executive team based on the submissions.
Now hang on a minute. What he didn't say is that the strong recommendation was to leave Invermay intact, in fact to enlarge its capacity.
The change management team within Ag Research said, don't do this, it doesn't make sense, don't destroy Invermay. But the chief executive and the senior management team ignored the staff.
Wow. Well, that leaves the stakeholders or the clients, farmers.
I think it's important to remember that over the last few years we've been working really closely with stakeholders.
Not closely enough. In a recent survey of most ram breeders in New Zealand, 92% said they opposed the dismantling of Invermay. A further 6% abstained, which leaves just one question. Will the scientists leave their homes and shift to Lincoln?
The scientists won't move, or most of them won't move. They've already said so. They'll stay in Dunedin, or they'll move overseas, or they'll move back overseas. So how is Ag Research going to rebuild a genetics hub at Lincoln without the key scientists?
You can keep drilling us with evangelistic prose for as long as you like, but if the senior scientists won't move, and they won't, you've got nothing.
And that's the kicker. If the scientists don't shift, but the plan goes ahead anyway, then capacity is destroyed and we're all a little bit worse off. If you want to know more, or if you want to take action, Visit saveinvermay.co.nz.